once again to another pointless and aimless video. Welcome to the party, pal. Designed to do just one thing: entertain you. So follow me on a journey back to a time. Action, horror, suspense. Back when Hollywood was still cool, the movies were released that inspired our entire media today. Before everything turned into woke garbage. Gender politics. That shit you don't want to hear about. When movies were inspired to escape, they didn't need 32,000 people in an entire franchise and phases to make a good movie. You just need one man, one name, one title. Big ass robots, chainsaws, everything can be sold with guns, knives, explosive, snug gear, roundhouses, and snapping arms. In the age of unadulterated, unapologetic sex, gore, violence, so cool, it remains unmatched. To this day, there's creativity in Hollywood, owned by Disney. Now that Disney owns everything, everything's turned to a nostalgic fest. To reach into your wallet, steal your money, and exploit you for your money and your love once great. Steal your money, now to watch them milk you in the ass. The bitter taste of marble, gender politics, and the movie that will take you back to the future. To swallowing Christ. We've inspired a generation of idiots to run around with big dogs, throwing dildos, and pretend to be Jedi's. Yes, Star Wars. Nobody's seen Star Wars yet. Lieutards that think they're Jedi's. But this is just a part of this video. What we are truly going to look at. So without further ado, God infected. Jesus Christ, who is this guy? So, move over, Kobe. Fuck you. Fuck you too, Johnny Depp. Thank you, crap. We're heading over to the other side of the aisle. So, bros, or bras, Ryu and Ken, the two badass fighting game characters that never created by mankind. Back from a day when people weren't afraid to beat the living shit out of each other. Bunch of woke-tard shitheads today.
And welcome, with all out of the way, let us proceed on the journey back through the ages, on the journey of self-discovery, to ask a question or two, and to look back at the evolution of the beloved beat-em-up genre, where it started and where it stands now. And of course, it started with the beat-em-up that started it all. Way back when, we were thanks to the fight mechanics, cancellation and combos that started merely by chance or accident with the original Street Fighter 2, The World Warrior. Well, I'm sure all of us than spamming the fireball, whether it be versus your best mate on a home console or versus a complete stranger on the arcade. And that meticulous timing, the split second that means difference between victory and shame, using a dragon punch or the art of using a hurricane kick.
It certainly
way
blows
back in
away
the day, whether it be the arcade, the SNES or the Mega Drive.
Including 6 buttons, 3 punch, low, high and medium. This gave way to something you've never seen before. Rival games like Fatal Fury and King of Fighters normally only have 1 punch or kick. So this took it a new direction and started to make combo chains, and people started to discover things. And if you ever wondered why there was more than 1 Street Fighter 2 and there was multiple, this is why. Because it's broken. Still to this day people are discovering glitches after glitch after glitch. So every reinterpretation and reiteration of it was a way of fixing and polishing it up and fine-tuning it. Some of these you won't know have been fixed in later adaptations, say Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Yeah, but it was just plain broke. But this is actually where we owe the combo system from. It's actually a glitch that you can cancel one move halfway through performing it and trigger the next. So once one move was inputted and the character was performing the move, you could be inputting the next move, and before the one finished, it'd link them together. And that was actually the glitch. But it's still utilised today, fondly. And it's sort of brought it, and it's been fine-tuned. And the CPU fights were, yeah, they were quite puzzling sometimes. You found yourself thinking, hang on a minute, it's doing things that you can't humanly possibly do. And this is now we can really analyse it. But then we move forward to the later versions. It's my personal favourite, Street Fighter Alpha 3, where far more animation cells, which increased the frame counting talent, which I had a natural talent for. So precognitive, like you see here, range, bang, excellent. So yeah, the massive amounts of moves, we then brought into not just specials but supers, yeah, and the volleys, links, and again the cancellation, which you'll see demonstrated just perfectly in a second.
Favorite cheese-eating dick monkey.
Roll Bell Bison. Right, so the danger, that's the block guard going down, land, dragon punch, break, uppercut to dragon punch before it had finished the uppercut. That's a perfect cancellation for you. The time, the distance, and the skill level has been amped way up, and this is sort of like the, in my opinion anyway, the height of real skill playing. As you can see here as well, the CPU is not cheap playing, it's genuinely done. All-time favourite, and it's also reminiscent. You know, when they took everything to the more anime style graphics, and the characters are greatly exaggerated, which I think is great. Yeah, and this is obviously influenced by the Street Fighter 2 anime, which is also excellent. It took 2.5 years to actually produce. They rotoscoped all the fights from real people fighting, so it's the most unique fighting animated movies ever.
Scorpion.
That'll be Ethan Hill. And then this takes us across to Mortal Kombat, the rival at the time, but was far inferior compared to Street Fighter for its actual tactics, skills and gameplay. It's just singular move block. It's about the blood. Yeah, you get to the face. Windows. Yeah, it's still an excellent game to this day, but even after there's no cancellation, there's no combos, and even it's all about the death rooms. Yeah, so even when we moved on to Mortal Kombat 2, it was still the same basic gameplay. It hadn't gone a mile with Street Fighter, so Street Fighter was the height of competitiveness. You know, you can win a Street Fighter and really get good. And some people are naturally talented, and I found I was. Hand-to-eye coordination and pre-cognitive and having a good understanding of the moves and what link together. You know, we tricked them, but there was a small cancellation later, so you can do. But then we're going to step across now to the side-scrolling beat 'em up, and this is really where the 16-bit genre, the Battle of the Titans, the Mega Drive versus the SNES, or the Genesis and Super Famicom if you're in the US. And it's there's only one place to start. It's like Street Fighter, and it's against a Capcom title, and it's a favourite of mine. It's not aged well though. It's Final Fight. I've seen it playing with Guy. It set the bar. It's great to be able to stroll down the street and just have a good variation of moves and just be honestly brutal.
Yeah, just imagine what it's like living the life of Guy Cody and Hagar.
What are you about to do today, guys? Oh, I don't know, man. We go back, hit Metro City, you know? Beat the shit out of 32,000 men with a bare hand canoe. Put some stiff metal bars, stab them, get a nice beef sandwich out of the bin. Sounds like a deal. Let's roll.
And then Guy would later be evolved into the Street Fighter racket, which was also one of my favourite characters. And one thing you will notice about the Final Fight series, considering it's done by Capcom, it's the horrific wooden animation. They look like cardboard cutouts, and the moves are very limited, and all three characters are, there's no diversity in them, and I especially mean in the variation in moves. It's very, it doesn't matter really, no matter which character you pick really. It's the same limited range of moves, basic combo attack, jump kick, grabs, throws, using bars and one special, which later on would evolve into these beautiful big string combos, beautifully animated, all the flow and rhythm. Excellent. Yeah, and it's again repetitiveness. It soon gets old. You get to the end of the first level, really. You've been there and done it all, and there wasn't a lot of dynamic room for imagination in the movesets and the way the game is set up. So yeah, it's but it started it all. In terms of the side-scroll being up, I think I played the arcade at Swing Boss when I was a young kid, and I've never seen it side-scroll being up to this level before. There was things like Double Dragon and that, but we didn't. Crap. He had 1.1 kick. So then, we move on, and this is where the SNES got the upper hand on the Mega Drive, because they got Final Fight, they got the rights to it, and then Sega are in trouble. They need to kick its ass and come up with something. So they told them the best guys. So we move forward now to the excellent human-like fluent movesets, beautifully animated, much more variants. And we'll be focusing mainly on Street Race 2 up to 4 for the side-scrolling people. I'm not going to keep them all, it's not a type video. But yeah, excellent. I made my Axel. And mimicking the combo from Street Race 2 onwards. It looks just as fluent when he does it than when I do it in real life. And that's what gave it. And there you go, we demonstrated. Yeah, and it's far more diverse, it's colourful, it had a neon look to it, the sound was brilliant, the music was amazing, and they just nailed it home. And considering, in Street Fighter you had 4 characters, and you had Skate, I suppose you should say African American young kid on rollerblades. Now rollerblades in the 90s was the business, you know what I mean? You could be Max the wrestler, also and you had the 2 classic characters, Axel and Blaze, and they all brought something different in stamina, speed and strength. But I've been Axel all day long since I was a kid. It's one of my favourite. You may notice the gameplay's changed up a little bit. It's actually Street Race 4 you see now, but with the sprite of Street Race 2, which is a welcome addition to be able to do that. I think that's just absolutely fantastic job we've done with it. So yeah, it pleases everyone. But what you get with as well, you get that awesome gameplay you got from Street Race 2, but what they've done with Street Race 4, I'm going to go into great detail on it. It'll take some time to go through. I didn't realise a lot of these added additions to the fighting dynamics they've added. And what I mean by that is, well, you sort of get into situations where you might not have, there's something unique will happen, and it might not happen twice, it won't happen twice in a row. It's never to get the same game twice. Yeah, really fantastic stuff, especially with the new addition of catching the weapons, love it. And bouncing out with exploding barrels, and being able to bounce your characters and follow them a little bit more, and cancellations, so linking combos up, awesome stuff. And the new characters are really well done. They all have a unique style, like as a meat boat there. It's like a power blushes up, you don't stand in front of it, they'll knock your block off. And then we'll talk about the old characters that make a return. Got these guys at Core now with Ginger Head. They're not much harm in small numbers, but as soon as they gather, you start to learn your foes and your weapons and then your environment a little bit more than you would in, say, one-on-one beat 'em up. So yeah, the little ginger guys, they're not much trouble, but they carry blades and in blood, and there's going to be trouble. Now the Donovans will be trouble, they're pretty handy. They like smack you on the end of the metal bar and don't jump on, because the power block the go. And but yeah, see that there. But yeah, and the tyre boxes, they're not too bad, they're pretty solid there. Takes some chewing through, just get a block pose up on you. So yeah, introduction. And again, the level designs and the little pyrotechnics and the little touches that they've added, they've really brought it home to the modern day, because it's just been a long time. The mock, this is a well-renowned level for the soundtrack, and a lot of people's favourite. You get the little Hajime Shizuki bloke again, but he's slightly different. Instead of a single punch, he's got multiple punches. So it makes for a dynamic time. And to play that, I'm playing with the wife here, and we have a good time training her slowly. We make a good team. It helps you bond. There's not that rivalry you get with the one-on-one beat 'em up when you're playing your best mate who's as good as you. You're having a fucking heart attack. So yeah. Yeah, and this level's that kind of music already is this classic, instant classic. These guys again, there's techniques to getting around every character, and there's crowd control, and using your environment to your advantage. So bust the window and just lob everyone out, headbutt and knock them flying, suplex, knock one. It's good to knock them flying, and certain moves will knock the characters out of other characters. Some don't, just difficult, like the body slam and chucking the bars. See a little unique moment here that was quite funny. Just volleying 2 bars to get the window through. So you see, that's what I mean. It's good. Then like a plonk now, if you can lodge out the window trying to chuck him out. So yeah, it should have wound me necking a bit there. Yeah, the wild condition of the charge up moves now are fantastic. You didn't go too mad with the way you pull off the moves and that. They kept it sort of player friendly, so you're not that way. But the Mortal Kombat games that they've gone on, you still need a PhD to play them effectively to learn all the moves now. It's just a nightmare. I'm not really bothered anymore. Just give me the moveset, make it simple, sort of ergonomic and sort of reasonable amount of difficulty to import the moves. Don't dumb it down too much like the Street Fighter 4 and 5, because I will not be touching on them at all. Because they've just ruined them 3D Street Fighters. I'm 2D all the way. There are certain editions of the 3D games that I do enjoy, Tekken early Soul Calibur games, which I will move on to weapons in a bit. But this is I'm going to demonstrate now is the mechanic they put into it, which I think is really interesting. And again, it teaches you, like, if you build up all these skills of your bow, your environment, your weapons, and then balancing it all and using all these little techniques in one, you can really make actually quite impressive game. And it's different every time, so you need anything special like which drains your health. But what I did notice till recently, it leaves a green section. As long as you can keep doing it and leave that green section and use a normal effect to build it back up, so that's interesting. See, that's really cool. But if you get hit, annihilated. So get the F out of Dodge. Which again, you don't see anything like that in the one-on-one beat-em-ups. This is probably the most efficient and neatest 2D one-on-one beat-em-up ever made, I think. Street Fighter Alpha 2. They're sort of like on a par with each other, with this being the side-scrolling top game, and Street Fighter 2 the one-on-one. This is Street Fighter Alpha 2. Using the same technique again now, but I think I get smacked in and lose all that green. Yeah, see, you got to be careful with it. So it's not, you're taking a gamble. Teamwork. Keep the ass. Bit of blazing nipples there.
And we'll move on now to a short interval, including Mitsurugi from Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. Like I said, I'd just touch upon it because it really was very iconic and groundbreaking in the mocap and the first real decent weapons game, which brings me back to Street Rage 4 again, because obviously you have the weapons, and Blaze and Axel and everyone are experienced martial artists, but I do actually like the way they keep to the basic attacks with the weapons. They're not doing anything too fancy, showing skill, but it's just brute, smack you over there and whack you around the chops, So yeah, and now we're moving on to I'm also utilising the Street Rage 3 Axel. Has the ability to run and do various other things. But yeah, what I'm moving on to now is the main thing we've really brought in is crowd control and weapons. Now you're not going to get anything like this, but it's not as fancy and intricate, but it's as competitive and important. The best way to put it. It's my main man. Favourite character from Soul Calibur, who's later then removed. For what reason I don't know. H Wang. Well, it's just Silent H. So it's just Wang. And I've picked these tunes deliberately, so I think they match the character's personality, if you like. Not that I know them or hang out with them. Crazy little people with mad weapons and mad skills. Moving on. Now this is what I love about they've really brought to life, and I reckon they could expand on even further, is the environmental use and crowd control. And I've used Steven Seagal here back in the day before he got crap. When he was a bit of a legend. His fighting style is Aikido, which is derived from the samurai, which is not really built for one-on-one. It's for a samurai when he's lost his sword and he's on the battlefield with multiple opponents. Now you can see that now, and I think it's the perfect example. Some interesting stuff we've done with the new Streets of Rage. I say the weapons as well. I've been trying to do it so just to be fancy, chuck a weapon at your friend and get them to catch it to pass it to them, stuff like that. It's pretty good. It's crowd control and weapons. Agreeing. Now this is the battle mode, which is annoying to say the least. I fought this guy here, and I hadn't played it long, and I wasn't used to the battle. And this is what you get. This is why I'm not a big fan of online fights, because you get people that have rinsed the game and found every little kink and trick and glitch, and they exploit the fact that they know this stuff. And then, I mean, I just roll into a fight, handicrafts, and action reactionary, and just fight my way through it. And these guys, they come in and they've got all these little tricks and that. You get a lot of Mortal Kombat where they'll pick Sub-Zero and they'll make the first move they do is a backflip, which leaves an ice sculpture of Sub-Zero, and then they stand behind it for ice balls, and you got to try and get through it. It's like, come on, mate. So yeah, and that's the difficult thing to do. It's on something like Street Fighter Alpha 2. It's so refined. There's always an answer for anything. But yeah, this guy's got, I think that was my little cheeky kick there got him with. And as soon as I started to, I mean, this is a perfect example as well. There's no anything they can do. You've got the skill range to beat it, no matter how good it is. So yeah, whereas it doesn't really work like that on Street Fighter 4. And as soon as I started to work out the guy's tactics and his volleys and his bounces, and he's obviously figured out every character, and I start to beat him in his own game, he runs away, and I hate that. And that's why they've got such high ranking. They're just opportunists to go around and do that all day. And it's like, well, that's not a fight, is it really? I mean, who goes to a real street fight? And that's the way I look at it, really. He's going in as a warrior to fight the day. And you sort of weigh up what the guy's got and what he's doing, and he's trying to do one better. But it is far beyond what the original Mortal Kombat was. So it's got that, but I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, I mean, the Alpha series, there's that much. There you go. That's a perfect example. He's spamming the move in the corner, and he's just blocking in there and that. And there's not much you can do. You don't have the tools to get out of it. All you can try and do it to him once you've sussed it out. This was supposed to have Rod Stewart playing over the top, but I will put it back in the downtown train. It's not actually selectable. I just put it for this video. But it should have crap out of it. Compared to the way I play now, I'm not using any of the sort of crowd control tactics or these specials and realising the green energy bar and that. But I do a nice level for the jumping over the bridges, whatever they are, the flying past. That's pretty much spot on. So yeah, I like the way they put the guards in with the and they fight the street punks. That's a really nice touch, that is. And just to brush upon a bit of Mortal Kombat, now they have brought Mortal Kombat back in all its glory, and it does work effectively as a 3D game, whereas Street Fighter doesn't. And the obviously now it's got combos, cancellations, it doesn't have a parry, but it's got reversals. So yeah, and obviously the death moves. I'm quite surprised that I thought this would get, as the graphics got better, I thought it'd get cartoon. It's actually kept it pretty close to the mark. It's a little bit disturbing somewhere. I mean, they complained about, I think it's Mortal Kombat 1 back in the day that brought in the NPC rating. And they used to whinge about us kids playing it. Kids playing that is far worse, I'm sure. Now we're on to the later levels. Again, use the edge, boot them off, use the charge kick, which is good when you finish a combo, hold down the tap button, you cross the goal, it needs a power kick, which knocks them flying and can knock them into other characters. So again, crowd control. But the most interesting thing is the little bottles they chuck. I have a whale of a time trying to catch them. And then it doubles up here. So you've got them guys with the shields, and they take some chewing through, they do. But electricity and batons are the best thing to get through them. So watch me a bit nifty here now. Hey, look at that. Come back at you, and the shields turn instantly red. So they give you a difficult situation to be in, but if you realise the tricks, it gives you the tools to get out of it, and that's really what. The wife's going a Bit nuts up there in the corner, wasting all the decent power-ups. Oh, look at that, another catch. Get in. Wasn't that cool that time? So yeah, it's this is where I'm trying to teach the wife again. Try to catch her on the bat and then, but she evaded me. So just keep a baton close by on these later levels. They are the best weapon to take down them guys. Just rapid fire, like bang, 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 bang. Let's see. Just knock the living shit out of them. I should have been quicker and caught that. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how I progress, because I certainly have progressed, and I'm saying teaching the wife a bit. And coming up in a minute, actually, there's a harder version of the little ginger egg guy I was talking about before, and he comes along unsuspecting me. I'm trying to teach the wife how rapidly you can use the baton. And it's just some random little guy getting battered. Without thinking he's it. Yeah, sorry, I'll just go for a little guy, beat the living shit out of him. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see, you can literally see the teacher like, try to do it well. It's going to be elite. That's for a roll there. Come on, pick up your battle, woman, come on. You can just imagine what I'm saying here, can't you? I'm sure we've all been there. There's a little guy now, look at that. Bad to death.
We're all scared. You'd have to be crazy not to be scared.
Rolling back to Street Fighter 2 again. Yeah, this was really something I'm going to touch upon. Hopefully this will be the start of first in the series. Now I'm definitely getting quicker and better at doing these, and I want to do something a bit more intricate, and I'm taking it a bit more seriously now. And then welcome all the new subscribers as well. So it's all paying off. So yeah, I'm going to touch upon other games. So the start of hopefully many series to come.
Know your weapons.
And this one's mainly the Street Age and
Know your environment.
where it started and where it stands today.
Understand your opponent's tactics.
Again, this
Know your foe.
you get a good variant of foes and the environments as well. So the gas things, I get caught out that way. You got the guy there, the kick, or headbutt, and sit down out of the pocket. One go across the screen, one going to go forward. Or back fist as well. That's it. Evaluate the threat. If there's 6 guys in front of you and 2 guys behind you, or 3 guys in front of you and 1 guy behind you, don't turn around. Round your little back fist. I think you bounce off all the back fists as well, which keeps him going. But got a bit carried away there. Just put him next to Steam. And the light jab. Just keep him on the spot. Not good in the crowd, but you want to just be a bit cheap. So again, use the suplex, crowd control. I don't know why I put that kick in there, the bottle cap challenge. Maybe it's a double hemisphere test. They've done tests with different people where they got them to analyse a video, watch a video where people are passing a basketball, and the people count
Know your foe.
how many times it's passed, but only certain people out of the group noticed a guy in a gorilla suit walk through, and the people that noticed were the people that are known to be quite effective in beat-em-ups, and they call it the second hemisphere. That part of your brain that always takes that split second to analyse and evaluate threat without reacting on the first emotion, which I in real life, day-to-day life, I never react to my first emotion because it can. I never let your emotions control you either. So yeah, I just find it's quite an interesting thing. I think it stems from martial arts discipline. Mind and body is one. And it really demonstrates some crowd control. I keep putting these in because it gives you an idea of what it's like for a real opponent and how different people move.
Know your weapons.
I'm quite a big guy, and people don't expect me to be able to kick and be as agile as I am. They expect me to lunge around. I think my actual experience in martial art and kickboxing and those sort of things is what gives me a bit of flair in the fighting game arena sort of thing. I mean, that was pretty good though. That range of everyone. Calm and control. Break the rules. So I think this brings us to my last category, which I am not overly experienced in. I'm going to hand it over to Maximilian. Great YouTube, I love his boss face thing, so I've borrowed a bit of his footage here if he doesn't mind. I love his commentary as well. Crazy little bloke, but very entertaining. Which is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike and the pairing, which you've already seen, the Diego moment 37. If you're not aware of that moment 37 with Diego in the final tournament, go and check it out now, or after this video. Watch my video and leave a like, and then you're not subscribe. God damn it, man! What the hell's the matter with you? You've got some quality material here, man. So yeah, Street Fighter 3, the Third Strike, which is like, Street Fighter 2. There was glitches in the first one. It was the new generation, and then sure enough, there's been other iterations of it. And they've really gone all out on this, the animation, and stepped it up, and they give what's called a parry now. So it's no chip damage like blocking, but it has to be 1/10 of a frame, or 1/4 of a second, 1/10 of a frame, or something like that. And you will knock the attacks away. But I've never been that great at it. I'm getting too old for it now. Maybe if it's back in the day.
Let's go! We got this!
I want to play this now competitively with anyone. Back in the day, you used to get a buzz off it, not anymore.
The tallest, nakedest man in the world chooses the button.
No, it's fun getting old, isn't it? The tallest, nakedest man in the world. Right, I'll leave you in match for 5 now.
Oh, you don't want to block the jump in? Alright, I'm fine with that. Really? You think that's what works against me? No! Oh, really? Oh, we got taunts in here, huh? Alright, let's see what one of these feels like right against your nuts. Dude! Come on! The battle of unknown true destiny has begun.
No.
Yeah, man. The church beat shit out of some guy, man.
The mark of my dignity shall scar thy DNA.
Flicks, remember to keep it out forever. You must continue. Oh shit!
I have played this guy a fair few times. He's the most annoying. That's what puts you off this game, though. The end boss. He's got a resurrection on the second round, and he's damn hard. Like ridiculously, and then he has a resurrection. So you can just in the second round. There you go. That. Was it that one?
No, this guy has to die.
Let me be the lesser of all sins.
He's really shit as well.
Go, come on. Oh, shit.
What's with the underpants? Yes. Turn off my wife phones.
How the hell did I get stuck from Jack? That shit!
That's the other thing about Street Fighter 3 as well. I didn't really vibe with all the new characters.
Alright, buddy. Let's go. Maybe it's the way it was always meant to be.
Into the heathen's battle. Go for it.
Alright.
Come and dance with me. So come and dance with me. Come, my lady. Come, my lady. You're my butterfly.
And so to wrap it up, guys, thanks for watching and listening. Hopefully that was a bit of insight. If you've not, and it's just a look back, because you know it's something that I've always held sort of dearly in my heart as a beat 'em up, and I think it's underappreciated. And if people look down the nose at you for playing a beat 'em up when they're sat there watching Coronation Street thinking it's sophisticated, well, they're very wrong. That's junk food for your brain. Yeah, this improves hand-to-eye coordination, concentration, the whole 9 yards. So it's been fun to share the knowledge, because I've been doing this for a long time. So hopefully I've shared a bit of insight and inspiration and a bit of wisdom. So maybe I've inspired you to take a second look at beat 'em ups. It's not your thing, or maybe I've just inspired you to go and pick up your old copy of Street Fighter 2 and give it one last whirl. Or maybe to give your old mate a bell and actually get him to come round and sit just like back in the day. Dust off on 2 pads and rock. Or maybe just share it with a friend or family. Or maybe you've got a son or daughter, maybe pass the knowledge down with. Either way, leave it up to you on the journey and where it takes you. And as for me, can't help but wonder, what now? What comes next? What will we see of the fighting game genre? Will it improve? Or did we see the high watermark already? Either way, I'm sure we'll find out. I'll be right there. Because there's always something more to discover, and all the things I've been saying through this video, it's not always about knowing the path, but walking the path. Everything I've said about knowing your foe, knowing your environment, knowing your weapons, but at the end of the day, it's about knowing yourself. Journey of self-discovery, that was the lesson at the end. So I'll leave you in peace now. I'll see you next time. Over now.
Hey, yo, bro. You in? See the sexy shit I got on, man. White t-shirt on, man. Blue jeans. Down to a cool. That mean guy gonna hit Metro City, man. Go see him beat the shit out of 32,000 people with our bare hands. Coming? You got the nice beef sandwiches found